Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Being how it's the fifth dark day of Hanukkah, I did that video this morning. Not too many people are interested, which is kind of a bummer. But SNL, I wanted to somehow get this in. So we'll do a video on customizing Mormonism. They had a skit 7 years ago about you think I'm the beast. And they're dancing and singing the song, and then he then starts talking about how wonderful it'll be when she makes her transformation. Oh man. And then the guy from the new Barry show, I'm not sure if they're going to do another season with the coronavirus or not, but it's like HBO or Showtime, one of those. Barry with Henry Winkler, as he's an assassin. But he brings up his interest in menorahs. Has he dated a menorah once? If you don't know Beauty and the Beast, with Disney's version of it, the cartoon version, you won't understand the hilariousness. But it, of course, triggered a memory of the woman formerly called my first wife. During our wedding reception, her extended family sung this song and altered it for us for our wedding, and so I got to be Beauty and she was the Beast. And as we were dancing, she goes, "Hey, wait a minute, I'm the Beast." Exactly. On the show. So yeah, that sort of set the tone for the rest of the downfall of my marriage. But our marriage consisted of her trying to customize me as to her ideal husband. And obviously I wasn't up to the task of trying to figure out what it was she wanted me to be. And thus it failed, as I had gone on to decipher Paleo-Hebrew and to show that Joseph Smith was a true translator. And so, yeah, she didn't want her kids learning Hebrew. And the church, likewise, wanted me excommunicated. All for finding out that Joseph was a translator. And so thus, customizing Mormonism, as the church tried to cut ties with translation as one of the list of prophet, seer, revelators, and translators. They've encountered numerous times where science and linguistics and Egyptology come crashing in upon them to expose them as with their lack of translator abilities. And so as much as they don't claim translator, it's still kept in scriptures that they're supposed to be translators, and that they don't have it. And so thus they have to customize Mormonism to accommodate the new lack of being translators. And Mormons, likewise, I see in the culture, having moved to Utah, that Mormons customize Mormonism to their will. And when something doesn't fit with their will, such as being told that they can't have Mountain Dew, they then rebel, but consider that a non-issue. And so you've got different types of Mormonisms as well. But in regards to other things that are a little more based in reality, because there is no commandment against drinking Mountain Dew. The inverted pentagrams, for example, Mormons just dismiss it because the church only talks about Jesus, 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 and Lucifer bad, and so they don't make a connection with the sign of Lucifer all over Temple Square, and how the doctrine of Lucifer, of taking away agency, is a part of Mormonism, because they get fooled into thinking, oh, well, it's Jesus, so it's Jesus's gospel to take away agency. But when it comes to church attendance, the Mormons have their own interests. They want to watch sports on Sunday. And so now that we have cell phones, people are able to listen to their favorite sports team as they play on Sunday, instead of listening to the lessons that are just boring. It's all just doctrine stuff, and Mormons just don't care. They have their life set. They know what they do with their life, and they've got their life, and that's how they want to live it. And so trying to research the truth about church history, trying to research the doctrinal principles of Mormonism, trying to understand prophecy for the latter days is just and so they'll call it deep doctrine to justify not pursuing it, because they've got their life they don't want to change. And so when the church tells women they can't wear slacks, or bans gays, bans blacks, talks sex to little kids in bishops' interviews, if people are not directly affected, they don't care. They don't listen. It just goes in one ear, out the other. Oh no, I'm complaining. I've got my life. And so, yeah, church just becomes part of that life. Oh, I got to go to church because that's what we do. And then after church is done, they go back to their life that they've set up and designed. And they don't like it when somebody comes around. They're home teachers, which, for those of you millennials, in the early days, we had this thing called home teaching. Yes, Nelson did away with it. But home teachers would come over and force the family to gather together in the living room and listen to the home teachers condemn them for not studying the scriptures, not going to church, and whatever else, and reading the First Presidency message about how they're evil and they need to repent. And so, yeah, it becomes a nuisance. It's a bother. And so home teaching percentages were like way down because it didn't fit Mormon lifestyle. And so on the one hand, yeah, it's great that he did away with home teaching, but he replaced it with what? Oh, that ministering thing? Where you see them down the street, go, oh yeah, there they are. And you don't need to report it. No more reporting that you made contact with them anymore. You just have to say, when the bishop says, hey, wait a minute, don't we have this member who's not come to church in 3 years? Oh yeah, I saw him the other month. Well, how's he doing? Oh yeah, he's doing fine. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, what a tangled web we weave. And so, yeah, that becomes a problem when Nelson wants Mormons to do something, and Mormons are like, hey, we're already doing our thing, leave us alone. And it becomes a conflict when guys like me say, hey, you're not practicing Mormonism. You're denying Joseph Smith, denying the Book of Mormon, denying even Jesus. And you say, I'm following the church. Don't you even want to know what the original church was supposed to be? No. Alright, whatever. Why do you stay with the church? Because that's part of the thing, you know. If I leave, then my family will condemn me and shun me from the family. Because you go contrary to your mother's customizing of Mormonism, in which she demands that all kids must be perfect little Mormon angels, so that they can all be together forever in the celestial kingdom. And then you think, wait a minute. The celestial kingdom is a star, a sun, and it's got a specific size. And we were all born as spirits in the premortal life, and yet we're somehow supposed to all go back together on the same planet, and then have kids with our polygamous families. And all those kids are supposed to fit on that same sun? And then those kids will all be resurrected, all be forced to be resurrected, remember. Take away agency. Just like Lucifer's plan of happiness, all will be saved. And you then start to realize, when you factor in reality, it's not families will be together. It was originally man and woman. And they will get their own star, and that's more realistic. Was it Knowing, or was it one of other movies? Where at the end of it, it was all about how spaceships are taking children and rocketing them to another planet to be Adam and Eves on those planets. Interesting thing that sort of helps the original Mormon concept. But yeah, Mormons end up creating Mormonism when they customize it. You have to. When I got married to the woman formerly called my second wife, her sister asked me, so is she your soulmate? Huh? Do you feel that you were meant to be together in the premortal existence? And so what do? No, that's false doctrine. What the hell are you doing? So, yeah, sure, right, yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, we were both previously married and divorced, and that was all part of God's plan for our happiness. To learn so that we can be then together and then get divorced. It's just, oh my God. the nightmare that is Mormonism. And they just don't think. Tale as old as time.